Hello, we're trying to understand Star versus the forces of evil. That's what we're doing.
Star versus the forces of evil is
That's
my idea.
It is your idea. You're the one who knows about it. I don't.
Unlike Homestuck, I do know a bit about Star versus the forces of evil.
Astounding.
Um,
Crazy that you watch TV.
It is crazy that I think it was like the last thing, like the last like cartoon that I got like hyped up for. I remember. I think it actually came out when I was in high school. Still, I remember there was a lot of buzz around it. It was like it came out in 2015, and I think I watched like the premiere that they had. Like they had like the first episode premiered January, and then it came out March of 2015.
Did it come out before or after Steven Universe?
After?
I just noticed that the visual style seems very similar.
Like, it came out after.
Have the same shape, I noticed.
I think Steven Universe came out around, I could be wrong about this, like 2012, 2013. But the funny thing about Steven Universe is it's still going. So Star versus the Forces of Evil only lasted for 4 years.
Still a pretty decent amount of time, I think.
Yeah. We're talking about the first 2 episodes today.
First 2 episodes.
Well, first 4 segments, whatever. They called them segments on the Wikipedia. I had to look that up real quick to see when those came.
Actually, so I can't remember which one was the second and which one was the third. But the second one was not the karate one. So I think I know which one's which.
The second episode was
the romance episode, matchmaking. That's what that was with the troll. Okay, yeah, okay.
It was matchmaking, and then the football game. First episode being the whole introduction, and then we get introduced to Ponyhead. But we'll get to that in a second. I think this show is like real fast paced, and there's a lot of things that are covered over these like first 2 episodes.
Yeah, like the first 30 seconds of the show are like here's our character, here's where they live, they're leaving now we're here.
They do touch on Muni later. They do touch on Muni later, but yeah, that is a little bit weird. I thought it was also weird that they introduced the wand, which becomes one of the staples of the character, and like how she uses magic and stuff. And they kind of like to flip back and forth between, oh yeah, she can use it. Oh yeah, she's really bad at using it, but she can do certain stuff, especially in battle, because she never like screws up in battle.
And it seems like that. Well, actually, that's probably because of in the football bit, like they have a bit where they're like what even was the bit? They were like, my teacher was like the defense leader, captain of the guard or whatever. Yeah.
My babysitter was the royal guard. Yeah. I thought that was a good bit. I think there's a lot of good bits in this.
So it's like that would make sense why you only know the attack spells.
Oh god. Yeah.
I don't know how much lore went into this, but you know.
It makes sense. I think it makes sense at first, but I don't think the Royal Guard uses magic. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm dumb.
But you just haven't seen that part yet.
It makes sense for now. It makes perfect sense for now. But there's a lot of good bits. I love how like and well, they go to the other world. Let's get back on track. They go to the other world. You meet Marco.
Polo.
which is
Nobody says
I
polo.
actually
I'm upset.
I do love the fact that they made two characters that work together really well, even though it's kind of a trope having a straight man. Like it's a straight man character. It's exactly a straight man character.
Yeah.
To be paired up with Star. I don't think he's a bad straight man. And then you have Star, who's just this chaotic ball of energy, and I actually do love Star.
I So here's my feeling on Star. I identify greatly with her ineptitude, not so much with her energy.
I I don't personally identify with her energy, but I love it. I think she's real good character.
She's all right.
She's real. She's also a really like this whole show. Well, especially when it comes down to everything around Star. Everything around Star is just insanely cute. And I think that's why I love the character so much. Right. It's just because she's insanely cute.
It's like a weird hyper puppy or something.
Honestly, there was a slight thing. I do love that, like when Marco comes home, she's like, his parents are like, oh yeah, meet the new foreign exchange student that's going to be staying at our house. Like,
yeah, that weirded me out. Was that in the first two episodes? No, it wasn't. Okay, we'll talk about that when we talk about the third episode, I think. But that confused me after I saw the third episode.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about right now, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to there.
I love the laser puppies though.
The laser puppies did happen.
The laser. I love how when Marco gets all mad and like storms out, I like a couple of the bits. Like here's some sunshine and it's just a rain cloud. It's great. It's great. And he jumps out the window.
Did he jump out the window? I wasn't paying that much attention.
He jumps out the window, lands on some cactuses.
Ah, of course. Excellent gag.
And actually, I don't think it explicitly says it, but it's in California. It is fully based in California, and the first like telltale sign is like on the shots with the school, it has the California state flag.
I don't know the state flag, so that wouldn't mean anything to me.
I don't know. I don't know why I know the state flag, but I do for some reason. But when he like jumps out the window or falls out the window, and Star's all sad because Marco's all sad. I love how the puppies are also really sad. It's a very like minute detail that is great. Then it goes to the not grocery store, but the like a 7-Eleven, like a gas station or whatever.
Right.
I think this is one of my favorite bits in the episode where he's just basically going insane trying to get people like to get him like a refill on his drink. It's great. And then it's basically the end of the first part of the first episode, and we get introduced to Ludo and his villains. His basically job squad. They're basically just a job squad. And I think Ludo is a great villain, and there's a lot more coming from him in later episodes. I know we have 2 episodes with him, and it's great.
Ludo was best boy. That's my stance at the moment.
They have the whole fight scene. The fight scene's all right. I mean, it's standard.
They fight. They throw some magic around. Marco knows karate.
That's such a weird way to introduce it. That because they don't mention. Oh, at least it's the first episode, the first part of the first episode. But like it's such a weird way. Like, oh yeah, I know karate, ha, like, and starts kicking everybody's butts. Like, I think that's a little bit weird, and I think it also just laments our villain squad as a bunch of jobbers.
It's just like they can't even handle a kid who like can punch.
They can't even handle some like high school kid. High school kid and interdimensional princess. And they win, the job squad goes back to their universe, blah blah blah. And we get into the second part of that second segment. So,
and what was the second part? That was
Ponyhead.
Yes, that, yes.
So, off the bat, what do you think about Ponyhead?
Ponyhead is not a personality that I really mesh with.
I don't care for her at all at this point. I don't know if I ever care about her, but I do not care about her at all. The whole episode, there's not. We're not gonna.
The whole thing is that whole episode is basically high schoolers go space clubbing, and the horse's head wants to break up the friendship, and then the horse goes to school jail.
To school jail. There's a couple bits in here that I also like. I like how he's almost pushed off of the edge. It's like, oh, just don't go. I like how the edge of this party dimension is introduced. Like, don't fall off the edge, and you just see this like dude bro skeleton in spikes.
Why they put spikes down there? If they're gonna have a party dimension, why not put like a mattress or something on the ground and not spikes?
I don't think the party dimension ever gets mentioned again. I could be wrong.
I doubt it. This doesn't seem like the kind of thing that would be mentioned again.
The only reason is because of one of my other favorite bits from the show, where Marco almost falls off the edge because Ponyhead just tries to straight up murder Marco. And the dude bro skeleton's like, fall. Then they go to the arcade universe.
An arcade town, and then
they have the squares. They have the
squares.
They're all squares. They're all, well, basically, well, no, they... Well, yes and no, because some of the squares were also rectangles in different shapes, which they use to do a bit where they're running away from the bad guys. They don't even get a name, do they?
Yeah, just Space FBI.
Basically, where they do the Tetris falling and they all like stack up perfect. But no, the only notable thing is that they introduced Ponyhead, who I don't care about. Whatever, they need something, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about Ponyhead. They also halfway introduce St. Olga's reform school for wayward princess.
Yeah. Well, they briefly introduced that in the first part. The Star initially thinks that our parents are going to send her there, but they're like, no, actually, you're going to Earth, but you'll go there if you do bad on Earth. And that's, like, the motivation, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, but this is... St. Olga's will come up later.
I hope we go there and things happen.
I can't wait to talk about it. There's a bit that actually, like, one of the like first bits that just like started like a fire across the for different reasons.
Hmm.
We'll talk about that when we get there. And then we get into episode 2, segment 1. The matchmaking.
Right.
Is there really much to talk about this episode either?
We basically just introduce what's her face, Marco's crush, and that's
yeah, Jackie.
kind of the teacher, I guess.
The teacher who gets turned into a troll and never gets turned back. Oh my god, she just they fight. I mean, they fight Ludo again.
You fight Ludo again, and Star murders a guy.
No, he's not dead. He's just internally bleeding and being a baby about it.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Oh god. They match the teacher up with one of the job squad, and then gets dumped like at the end of the episode, and everything falls onto Marco. Everybody's mad at Marco because the teacher comes back and is super angry. That's about it. Is there anything else notable? No, they introduced Marcus.
Oh yeah, they do introduce what the dirty kid and the fat kid.
It's all. I don't even know I don't even know their names, and I don't really care to know their names.
Yeah, they're just background characters.
Yeah. Well, they're background characters with some spice.
Background characters with marker on their stomachs.
Honestly,
they can make funny faces and make them look like they're talking. Because fat rolls. If it's fat, it's funny.
Okay. And they introduce Jackie. Jackie will come back. Jackie's the love interest. This will cause some divide in the fandom later on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting angry over best girl.
Yes. Oh no, they do briefly introduce another character. When Star uses the mirror to call her mom.
Oh yeah, what's his face is in there?
Tom.
The demon guy. Yeah,
Tom. Did they do anything? Did they say anything? I know they mentioned him briefly.
Yeah, he's there, and he's like sounds like her ex or something.
Yes,
which is weird because she's 14. But you know.
Oh. Oh wait. Oh no. I mean, people have relationships in middle school and high school.
Real people probably do. I don't, because I'm not a real person.
I'm not a real person. They briefly introduce him. He will come back. He will be a character. They also... There's also... I'll get into pairings later. We don't have to talk about pairings right now just because it's so early in.
I'm not sure we need to talk about pairings ever.
We're going to have to. The
ship will sail, apparently. It really doesn't need to, but you know.
We're eventually going to talk about shippings because there's a lot.
We're going to have to in the next episode, actually. You may not remember what happens there, but oh boy, does something happen.
What, on next episode or next segment?
In episode 3.
Ooh, okay. Okay, I don't remember. I haven't watched the show in forever.
Things happen, and knowing things outside of this cartoon, let me tell you, there's some scenes. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get there.
I can't wait for St. Helga's. I can't wait for St. Olga's. I can't wait till that comes in. I forget what episode that comes in. Let's see, but that's the end of the first segment of the second episode. I mean, there's not much to talk about. And then we get into the next segment.
Right.
Well, it's honestly, like, there's a couple. Do they introduce anything in they do a pep rally. That's the thing. They do the pep rally. The cheerleaders. I
don't know if they're recurring characters, but they're present.
I think they recur for like an episode or two. I think there is a major thing. There's a minor thing that happens, but there is an episode where they do recur at some point. It also, the only thing that I think that's real notable about the second segment is that like Star is just doesn't understand what football is, doesn't understand anything, and nobody's telling her, like nobody's like and they're all, like Marco's kind of just aiding her along, like I throw some bombs, like bad wording, real bad wording, my dude.
Yeah, I mean, basically the only major thing that happens is that we get the characterization that Star only understands violence. There is no diplomacy with Star.
Diplomacy was never enough. The teacher's still a troll. Everybody's fine with that. Actually, you know, something notable that happens in all the episodes is like nobody cares that she's from another dimension.
Yeah, like it seems like in the first episode that they're like, oh yeah, we gotta be discreet about this, can't let anybody know, and then just everybody just tells everybody and nobody cares.
They like all the students know, like by the second episode, everybody's like, oh yeah, like the cheerleader even knows, like, I know you're from another dimension, but something. Yeah, it's real weird.
I do appreciate that they don't like do the whole song and dance of trying to be secretive and all that, and just like go for it, because usually they don't do that. And so it's like, it's interesting that.
I mean, she doesn't really have any characteristics that are too weird from like a human person, except for like the heart cheeks, and she has a wand, but besides that, like, she doesn't have any like inhuman characteristics, so it seems fine enough.
You know, in some of the earlier shots on Earth, she has like horns. Is that just like a thing she's wearing, right?
Yeah, she has like a horn like headband.
Yeah.
She has devil horn headband.
Yeah, I just thought of it because I noticed in the later scene. In the later scene, she has her hair up in like tufts where the horns would be. And I wasn't paying that much attention in the first scene, so I was like, wait a minute, does she like actually have horns? And the answer is no.
No. She does. I don't think she does change attire.
Not often.
Not often.
I think she does in the third episode, but we're not there yet, so.
She does in the first couple episodes. She has that she has the teal dress, and then she has the like blue dress with the colors on her chest or something.
Yeah, the stripes. She does.
Yeah, and then she has the battle uniform.
Just come out in armor. This does happen.
She has the battle uniform, and she also has, like, instead of hearts on her cheeks, she has skulls on her cheeks. Great. And a huge mace ready to go. I like how nobody saw the like booby-trapped football field.
Just nobody noticed.
There's like
it's very well trapped.
There's spike balls. There's like explosives. There's like
it's well
laser
hidden.
traps. They use me. The only thing it does is like, hey, like, she doesn't understand Earth, things.
Yeah, they actually do that briefly in the first episode. Where like she's trying to figure out a water fountain and like takes a bite out of the side of it.
She does. Okay.
But they don't do it consistently. It's like sometimes she's just okay with things, and sometimes something's weird.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of scenes where there is a lot yet to do anything with. There is a brief mention where she doesn't know what nachos are. So there is that. But that is basically the end of that second segment.
Yeah, there's just combat on the football field, which is handy. Yeah, some dudes show up and they fight briefly. Doesn't that happen?
Yeah, I like how the football player gets just dragged to another dimension.
Does he actually get dragged in?
Yeah, because she's helping him out, and then don't leave me, and he just gets completely sucked in. It's never to be seen again.
I wonder where it leads. Does it lead to Park Town?
Since it was like a combat, probably not. Probably some like horrible dimension with like cosmic horrors.
Probably leads to Tom's house.
Oh Jesus! But yeah, those are the first two episodes. What's your opinion? What's your opinion of the show?
I don't know. It's hard to say how I feel about it overall. I've only seen 3 episodes. I don't know. It seems fine. It's very hyper. There's a lot going on constantly.
Yeah. I do like that about the show, though.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, there's never a dull moment. On the other hand, I was not paying enough attention at all while watching it. And I missed a bunch of stuff in the first episode and a half or so. But yeah, it seems fine.
At least you got the basic concept.
Yeah, figured out. Got caught the story, at least.
There's a lot more. We're not even getting into like muting and stuff like that yet. We're not getting into.
Haven't hit the lore yet.
We haven't. I mean, that's how Steven Universe is, though.
Is there like actual lore in the show?
In Star?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay, so that'll be. We'll have to get my pen and paper, right?
I don't think first season really covers it a lot. Second season goes into it a lot. I think originally when I watched the show, I kind of stopped somewhere around like second or third season. I don't know what happens at a certain point. There's a lot that goes on at a certain point. I'm not sure what happened.
Once we get there, it'll be a new experience for the both of us.
Oh, definitely. Like that's when it's gonna get crazy. There are a couple characters that I'm really excited about. And one of them, I don't even think they show up or have any importance till like at least mid to late second season. I can't wait till St. Olga's school, because that's when we get into some stuff. But that's all I gotta say so far.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything in the first couple of episodes. So we'll call it there. Make that the end of this bit.
Well, this has been trying to understand Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Part 1. Come back next time for episodes probably 3 and 4.
Probably 3 and 4.
That's all. That's the end of the podcast.